In this video, we're going to go through some accessories to use with your action camera. Here are some of my favorites that I use often. Extra batteries. So first up, this one I know is pretty obvious, and it's having extra batteries. I have 3 that work with both the GoPro Hero 5 and the Hero 7. Those 2 cameras are great because they use the exact same kind of battery. So that really works out well. I also have a small smartphone battery brick that I can plug into either one of them using a USB cord when filming time lapses. In fact, connecting an external battery pack like this is the only way to shoot a time lapse of a sunset or sunrise because of how long either one of those take. The gooseneck. This is probably the accessory I use most because you can clamp the gooseneck to poles, round legs, tables, chairs, light stands to get those aerial shots. You can also even clip it onto your camera's tripod. It's a versatile tool. In fact, I have several of them at different lengths. The suction cup mount is probably the second most used because it's best to use for interior car shots as well as exterior car shots. Now, there's 2 kinds of these. There's single cup and 3 cup. So the 3 suction cup mount, that's interesting because what it's mainly used for is to be able to withstand the weight of a DSLR or mirrorless camera. But of course can also be used for GoPros because those weigh far less than what those other cameras do. And you can see here that we're using a 3 suction cup mount with a GoPro attached on top to get the high angle of this El Dorado convertible shoot. We use this car to drive the models around and had the background constantly changing because it naturally did depending upon where we were in the city. Then you've got the adhesive mounts. They're flat ones that can be mounted to the hood of your car or to the lens hood of your camera. Basically anywhere with a flat surface that you'll know you'll use again and again. You can use these mounts as a one-off, but that's probably going to be a pretty important shot. I've heard that you can get 2 to 3 sticks, or in other words, reuses out of a single 3M adhesive mount. But I've never tested that personally and wouldn't try spending that 2nd or 3rd try of them on things that move such as cars, because there is the chance it could fall off. So I only use unused sticky mounts on cars or things that move. Also quick pro tip, use a shoelace or cheap yarn from Walmart to tie the camera down just in case the suction cup fails or your adhesive mount fails. Now it's rare, but it'll save your GoPro and possibly also prevent a larger accident because if your GoPro or camera happens to fall, that's going to be a hazard to other drivers. While we're talking about mounts, you've also got the curved mount. Now these are mostly for helmets, though I've seen them on some hoods of vehicles that have slightly curved hoods. Curved mounts are obviously great for helmets. And here's an interesting fact, something that you'll discover in the wild, is that the helmets you'll wear on tourist activities sometimes already have those mounts attached to them from the previous tourist. So if you happen to forget yours, sometimes you can luck out by looking for a helmet that's got one already on it. There are lots of other accessories for action cameras. For instance, I have selfie sticks and a go-kart roll bar mount. The one accessory I don't have is a motorized 3-axis stabilizer for them because the GoPro Hero 7 and DJI's Osmo Action camera have built-in stabilization. Now, here's something important. That stabilization is software-based, so it will automatically zoom into your footage a little bit to stabilize it, but it's still really good, and is the reason I don't use a motorized 3-axis stabilizer with it. That's because if I do both, the footage will look weird because the GoPro's software stabilization is going to try and stabilize the footage, and it will, and do it well. But at the same time, the motorized 3-axis gimbal is going to try to stabilize that even further because it doesn't know any better. And what that's going to result in is warped footage that just, frankly, simply looks funky. Stabilizers nowadays are bought for 2 reasons: for a DSLR or mirrorless camera, and pros sometimes buy them for their smartphone when they still want to get those cool shots, but with something as small as their smartphone. So that's it for action camera accessories. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll see you in the next video.